I don't think I even like Breaking Bad that much, It's not that good of a show. I'm not a super big fan. LOL. First the coffee, then the things. What's up? This is Behind the Scoot, episode 2. First. Well, after the coffee. It has been that awkward moment when you check your phone and you have notifications, so you get sidetracked really quickly. It has been 26 full days. I'm on day number 27. Holy cow. I've never been so excited, so happy, just kind of where I am. This past week, Patrick and I met quite a bit for Finding the Flame. We're kind of getting in our Instagram groove. We're trying to get posts at least every weekday in the evening. And the posts are like quote cards or something that really stood out to us. And then, so every post is two pictures basically. So the first one's a quote card and the second one is more our 2 cents on it, or kind of expanding on a quote, what we're thinking at the time, what's kind of rubbing us the wrong way or right way. And I like that format. We'll see how it keeps going. But Patrick and I met a bunch last week. We're talking writing this program, Finding My Flame, what it's going to look like. We're still in love with the part 1, part 2 idea, where part 1 is how to overcome this physical addiction. How the sin starts as a spiritual, like it's a sin. Looking at pornography is wrong, but it quickly turns into a physical addiction. And how do you work with that? How do you attack that, overcome that? I always thought I would have the strength one day to say no. I found a better way. And so Finding the Flames, hopefully here to share that with you. Part 2 is all about how to have a personal relationship with God. I gave a talk actually yesterday to an amazing group, probably maybe a couple hundred, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in Wichita. And it was incredible. I loved talking to them. But at the point where I was introducing like what a prayer life looks like, having a personal relationship with God, I told them, like, if I looked back at my prayer life in high school and into college, every prayer, every like real intention I had was, give me the strength to say no. Lord, I'm sorry I did this against you. I'm sorry I sinned. Like literally every prayer I had was about porn. I just thinking back, I'm like, Satan had me in a loop. I couldn't develop a really good prayer life with God because I was in the trap of the addiction. And the prayer life I had was not personal. All I did was ask for help. All I did was pray about porn. Porn had infiltrated me to my core, my desires, but also my prayer life. And that is, I am so glad that I'm looking in my rear view. I'm 27 days now, like I said. Running back real quick. So Finding the Flame, I'm giving a talk at Kansas State University, March 11th. So excited. Those are my people. And I love talking to that demographic, but literally it's my favorite of all time. But me and Patrick want to have Finding the Flame, at least like a bare bones outline done by then. So it's going to be really rough, super not complete, but I want to be able to speak on it and point kids in this direction. Like, hey, this helps. I know a lot of people are starting to use like Exodus 90 by Those Catholic Men, which is a great program. It's incredible. I need to read through all of it, like all their daily meditations. It's like a 300-page PDF. But what always rubbed me wrong with basically any program that I looked for is you can overcome an addiction through more discipline. You need to be so strong with your discipline, you will have the strength to say no one day. And I guess I didn't believe it. And thank God I was graced this past like early January just with the knowledge, like I can now answer that question. You don't need the strength to say no one day. You need to learn how to rewire your being so that you do not even desire it. The past 27 days have been easy. I looked up a couple articles online, like how to overcome a porn addiction, just for some research. And there's common things basically. One of them is accountability partner, a prayer life, and then it's gonna be hard. Keep going. And that's one I always struggled with. When you fall, get back up, 100%. But the fact that when you really overcome an addiction, when you really change your desires that are driving your behavior, it's easy. The first time I went 6 months free and then I relapsed about a year ago, those 6 months were easy. And that pissed off a lot of my friends when I told them that. And then in my relapse, I was just searching for the answer again. Because I was like, I really don't think, like, I just need to take cold showers and pray 5 rosaries a day and like have like fast constantly to overcome this. I think there's a different way. My mom talked to me about this book called This Naked Mind, Control Alcohol. It's by Annie Grace, and that changed everything. 100% that changed everything. That book, I emailed the author and I actually Skyped with her. She's incredible. I told her this book is what I've been looking for. This is the missing piece to the puzzle that I've been looking. And like the program we're gonna write is gonna be fairly heavily modeled after this book. It's called This Naked Mind. And in it, she outlines how to overcome an alcohol addiction. Teaching your core desires that alcohol is not good for you in any extent. It's actually because of that book I very heavily backed down on my alcohol consumption. Right now I'm at 1 cup, 1 glass. I'm at 1 drink whenever I go out. My rule is I'll never have more than 1 drink. I can get into it later why I don't want to really cut it completely all the way out, but right now where I'm sitting, it's 1 drink. I never want to have more than that. The last time I had more than 1 drink was the last time I fell. Just let that sit for a sec. So anyway, I do want to kind of keep these a little on the shorter side. I can get going and not stop and not shut up. So I think I'm just going to have to see you next week. Episode number 3, Behind the Scoot.